Let everyone know that they are being recorded. You are all being recorded. Now it's done. Agenda, status, demos. Who's got demos?
Jasmine's got demos this week, doesn't he? And if not, I can probably do something on contained routing, perhaps.
On what? Content routing.
Routing taxonomies.
We have that, and you said Jasmine. Jasmine. Don't remember what. Topics, any topics of interest? There's a new website. Forgot to write the link down, but I will take it later during the demo. I will get the link. And harvest. And I will just mute Sotiris, it's too loud. No, I pin Sotiris, I didn't mute. I will unpin Sotiris and mute him. And I can't mute him because he's already muting himself. Okay, let's see status. Portrait 1, we did things, we merged things. So 6th of February looks right. Convert Kudu custom script to PowerShell. So from Aaron, who updated the deployment scripts on Azure App Service to use PowerShell and improve that. I assume that the App Service team updated to PowerShell a while ago and we were not up to date. So this is a PR that was added. As a reminder, this is a script that if you link your app service to a GitHub repository, then every time you do some change, it will build it using this script. And then tabs and counts to better organize parts and fields. This is a new feature that is interesting. And the idea is that you can have tabs in placement, okay, and organize every shape into different tabs when you edit some content. And what the laser company has added is the notion of cards, so that inside a tab you can even group all the shapes in cards, sections, accordions, and using a different char. Probably the % one. And they did that in placement, and they also edited, changed the admin placement editor, because in Orchard 1 you can drag and drop shapes to reorganize them. In Orchard Core you can just drag and drop parts and fields, and all their shapes will be grouped together. But in Orchard 1 you can do it per shape. And they added a way to group them into cards also in the editor. So you can edit the cards or the sections for each shape of each content type from the admin. So that's a nice thing. And optionally, we could extend that to have cards being have cards with a property with the size, the width, like 6 columns, to be 50% of the screen. But that's just something else that could be done, but not sure it will be done. I think there were issues with that, I don't remember. But now it's merged, so there's a new feature in Orchard 1. And that's it. Orchard Core, let's fetch everything. And I expect to have some surprises. And I don't like it. So this was last week. Rename differentiators to differentiators. Typo. Export normal role name rather than normalized. So in the export steps, we were using a normalized role name, and we actually need to export the role name. Add search settings and permissions for blog recipe. Add search setting. Oh, that's what I think Jasmine was supposed to demo. Custom permissions for each search index. Lucy index. Add search settings and permission for blog recipe. Okay, so updating the blog recipe to define a search index, and also saying that anonymous users can query the Lucene search index. That's not a dynamic permission, that's just a static permission. But that's fine. There must be also dynamic permissions for each index, but this must be whatever the search index is. This one is, I think, reverting some of the changes, the earlier changes, so I won't talk about it. I made a comment on the PR that this method is unnecessary because it was calling create async, and now it's also calling update and create async, so we could just add update async before. I don't see the point of this method. Same thing here. Okay. Fixes dynamic shape attribute. Casing issues. So it's making everything be, why? Why? Does it matter? Why does it have to be uppercase? Why does it have to be uppercase? I don't get it. Looks like this change is fixing the issue, and the rest is not related.
Maybe it's uppercase in the interface, or?
I don't see any relationship to an interface here. So I will show you why. So this is the attribute, and this no, I don't think that's okay. remove to allow dynamic resolution for attribute shapes. I don't understand the change here. So this I can understand, but this is case sensitive when binding from the display context. Okay. Binding from the display context. That must be an unrelated change then. Okay, maybe because there is some case sensitivity somewhere else than in this code. So this code doesn't have now to check for ignore case. But that makes me sad. Next one, format document. Okay, force features to enable in bulk actions. Okay, just a flag in the method, I assume, to force something. Copy paste from option 1. Add media to blog and blog post. So the idea is that it's completely reordered. A blog has a media field now, the banner image. So you can edit the banner image from a blog and also from a blog post. This is the default value. Well, this is the value for the blog. This is the blog post value of the existing blog post. These are now added as two media items. And in the template, if image path equals nil, there is I think there is a nicer way to say that in Liquid. I think there is empty operator, like if hpath isn't, there is something that's valid, but there is something else. That will also ensure that it's not an empty string, for instance, like string is null or empty. Here it's just that there is no value, even string empty. It might work, but maybe there are some cases where it won't work anymore. So if you don't set anything, it will fall back to the default home page. Okay, this is hard-coded in the theme. Fine. Okay. And blog image. Okay. And maybe what would be interesting here is hint is to say that this is the banner image, and if you don't set anything, it will use a default one. So you don't have to set it. That could be a nice hint, actually. That it's optional, and that if you don't set it, it will use the default one from the theme on both. Display async to resort documentation. Oh, and by the way, this should not break anything because it will use a default. Add display async to resort documentation. Display async to resort documentation. So we have an overload with a content item. Okay. Implement full text search to mkdocs. Implement full text search. Okay, there was no link to that, I assume. Users change email feature.
Oh, that's nice.
Users change email feature. Five, 3, 6, 2. Email settings, manage users.
Forbidden, maybe.
User. What if I'm anonymous? This is not necessary, right? This is by default. We do that. I don't think you need the attribute.
No, I don't.
You just need if you want to disable it. So you don't need that. Oh no, you need because it's a front-end controller. It's not an admin controller. I assume we have it only for the admin to be verified. Or maybe we have it for everything. We'll see.
I think we have it for everything.
should be a case insensitive search in here. Unless we want to say, oh, I want to change the case of my email. And I would say, even if you set the same email, you should just say whatever, yeah, do that. And then.
But is it the model error here and user with the same email already exists, providing too much information?
No, because you're authenticated and it's looking at the current user authenticated. So it can only disclose your own email if you're authenticated.
Yeah, I know, but downstairs it's looking for another email, right?
Yeah, but we can already do that with new accounts. So
Okay.
We should return the same error as when a new account is created. And here,
Didn't we use that mail kit is valid email address thingy?
yeah, maybe it's done later. We'll see in the change email, or we should verify also. Probably it won't be, yeah, change email. Maybe this thing will do that. Let's see. There are some people chatting. Okay, we'll see that. What is this? Isn't there something already existing for that? So this is the post. So that's a good thing to redirect.
Yeah, I've seen this construction before. There is no extension method for this, so it's kind of duplicated around.
Okay, that's okay. I was thinking maybe it was already there in ASP.NET Core. Driver for the settings. Feature. View model. Yeah, that's what you meant. Okay, so that's wrong. We have some examples for MA validation. Good. Thank you for checking. It's funny. You are too polite.
There should be a CAPTCHA on this.
There could be, but it will require the reCAPTCHA. So that could be an option. I don't know how you do that on the login form. How do you make it optional? Or
well, you just use the tag helper, and if it's not enabled, then the tag helper won't render anything. But we did make.
yeah, you know, the user is authenticated, so why do you need a reCAPTCHA? It only works for an authenticated user. So
Yeah. Okay.
there should be a check though, but here instead of, again, I will put the comment here because I didn't.
Yeah, this needs to be an authorized controller that completely. But just you can just put the authorized attribute on top, right? Or
that will work also. Yeah, that will do that.
on the controller, yeah.
No, not on the controller. Yeah, on the controller? Ah, that might be yes on the controller, yeah. Isn't it done? Maybe? Nope. Okay. Yeah, I know. Fix typo in full text guide. That's the full text guide. Okay. Document missing global methods. Good job. Missing global methods, variables, parameters, configuration. Declare variables at the root of a recipe. Okay. Parameters. Configuration, yes. We should have an example for that. React to comments from blah, blah, blah. Recipes documentation. Good job. Beautiful. Check state validity of configured tenant. Yeah, there was someone filed an issue saying they didn't understand why the tenant was not, there was a tenant, it was just loaded automatically and it should not be. Required field name and error message required in valid form field task. Okay. Empty message and link if no zones available in widgets. Good job. So warning. And we mentioned that, I think, during triage, that we should have more banners. That we could, we find an issue. Banners that we can dismiss, like if you go in the widgets page, a link to defining the zones, but you can dismiss it if you know already. But people don't know that you can define more zones in the settings. So we could add things like this everywhere. Rendering zones before rendering layout from Niraj. So the idea is that big change is here. So when we used to inject the body in the dynamic layout shape template, what Niraj is doing is that it will go over every zone in the layout and render them in memory. And only after that, call the actual shape layout to be rendered. This way, all the zones from footer and header will be invoked after every inner zone. So if the inner zone is defining some resource manager resources, then they will be taken into account once they are injected in the footer and header. Otherwise, there could be some widgets, for instance, that will try to define some resources, but they will not be taken into account because the header was already rendered. So this is how it's fixed. Better query for ordering list items. So fixing how lists are ordered by Dean. Implement proper security client HTTP code from Mathis. All the calls to forbid and challenge and whatever. Import recipe from admin. So new feature from Antoine that lets you upload a JSON file directly for the recipes and not just a zip file. Fixing that created date set in CommonPart date editor is not saved when creating a new content item. So the idea is that if you already set a value for the published UTC, then it won't try to update it. There was a case, I don't remember which one, but it was explicit in the issue. Layers documentation, how to use layers, what filters are available, and how to define zones. Good job. Features matrix, link to the features matrix. And the schedule. That will be easy to manage, right, to maintain. Glossary has been merged. Did you merge also the PRs from Hank? Let's call him Hank, even though it's not Hank.
Henry.
Tyson.
Not
Yes?
yet.
Not yet? What?
No.
He made a PR to your PR. So what's the point now? Oh, I assume you can change the target of the PR to go to dev now. Register display drivers with content option. That's the big PR from Dean. That allows now to register custom drivers, but not in the DI, but in a custom data structure. So if you create drivers, you will have to follow the new way to do that. Fix typo, and I don't think we run the benchmark. I would love to see the impact on this change on the benchmark. Fix typo in content field docs. Update beam down extensions. Markdown thing. Oh, sorry. Mark docs. Doc links. mkdocs material. Recipe step explanation. Okay, good job, because lots of people have this issue. Forget to enable their feature, their theme. Pager and PagerSlim shapes. I'm afraid of looking. What is the file? I will have to look at this one. This one has a change. Tag name. Interesting. Good job. Tag name. Item tag name. Good job. My concern being what? No. If you add a tag name property on the shape, then you don't need to make it to look into the properties. That's the goal. It's not here. you added a property here, tag name, so that a shape we can change the tag name of maybe maybe we actually didn't put it on purpose. That shape might not have a tag, but at the same time we put classes and attributes, so it makes sense to have a tag name also. Yeah, why shape the properties? I don't understand.
There's a PR couple of ones above where I think he's actually maybe trying to do that. I'm not sure.
Okay, I will see then. Maybe, yeah, I see. Ah, good job. It's reading in my mind. Okay, so I will not go on this one, but look further at users docs, because who doesn't need some documentation to let you know that login provider getter is to get the login provider. Right?
Crucial.
The type of the claim value. Then menu hide preview button in admin. I like it. Because if you go and edit a menu is a content item. So you see the preview button, but you can't preview a menu because the menu is injecting in a page like a layout or any other or something else or from widget. So there is no specific way to view a menu. If you call view on a menu or preview on a menu, it will try to render the menu without any context, and that won't work. So either we add a preview part on the menu, and then we can say what page we want to see when we preview the menu. That could have been a way to do that, maybe on the home page, but this will be for all the menus, so that doesn't work. Or, as Antoine is doing here, is saying the content preview button shape is hidden when the content type is menu. And this file is in the menu module. Okay, so I think that's perfect, right? Shazma is here. We were talking about you, so you heard us. To go there, where?
Well, this is my mistake because I was working on the pager things and I reverted afterward.
Okay, let's see. Yes, that's what we said when we saw the first PR, and we said no, it should be .tag name, and that's what you did after. So it's good. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you want to merge the PR that I did, but I let you review it first because
there's another. Yeah. Oh, this one. There is a new one. That's what you say. Revert use shape properties.
Yeah, reverted, no, but I had it back in the
Why?
proper PR. Yeah.
Because the change I see here is better.
Yeah, it's in the PR, but I was not sure if it would make the dev branch fail or nothing or else, because I had a lot of other change in my PR.
This is good. Tag name, clack. You took it from Orchard One, right?
Oh, it was already there. Yeah.
Ah. Shape tag name. So if it's not dash, meaning dash is like a magical tag name to say I don't want a tag, render the content directly. Then we say if it's not well, It could have been done there also, this test, but then UL by default or tag name. Oh no, that's good, I see. So no, that's good. I don't say anything. Looks
Yeah,
like
I just reverted to what it was because here
good.
we were using shape.properties to be able to make sure that it's there, but we found out that we could affect those real shape properties directly in the try setter method. So it's in the next PR. We'll see. Yeah.
This PR?
No, it's just a revert. It's just a commit. This one. I think you filtered for the dev branch, so you won't see the PR.
Ah, yes. So why do I see this one then? Oh, because there is still a. It's
this my mistake because I commit on the dev branch while I was making change with Jean-Thierry.
Okay.
So I reverted that.
So here you assign the attributes from the parameters. That's good. And this is why weird. Why take the ID from the properties also?
It's in the car shape. Yeah, we removed that too. Yeah. We're using the ID directly because we affect it.
Okay, but it's in the PR. Okay, I'll see later. Yeah. This fixing new code mirror version, removed unused module. And you said I should just remove my filter. I don't know how to do that. Okay.
Pager shapes.
Pager shapes. It's just the README.
Yeah, but there's more than that.
Oh,
just this
there is that. Okay. I don't know how to see all the changes from a branch. I looked at on the PR directly.
Yeah.
Just status right now. Okay, all done. So someone said, Orchard Skills said wanted to show a demo. Would we have also Jasmine later? Doesn't count. Orchard Skills. Can we do 7 minutes and 7 minutes? Does it fit?
Container routing is probably quite big, so we could do that another week. That's fine.
Okay.
No trouble.
Then can't remember your name. I have a guest in mind, but that must be your last name. You want to show us?
Sure, I can show you.
What's your name? Can't remember.
William Best.
William Best. Why do I have guest in mind? Why that rhymes? That's okay. Okay, go on. You can share your screen. And in the meantime, I will find the link I said I will look for. So Dean will do that. We can't hear you. We could, and then.
Can you hear me now?
Now, yes.
Okay.
So you found a good microphone.
All right. So can you see my screen?
Let me check.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. So what I did is I created a new theme here. Do you want me to start all over from scratch, or would that be better? Or?
What is Scratch?
Just how to set this up, whatever.
If it's a theme, okay. I think we can skip. But
okay.
Just tell us
so
what
I created a theme basically off of the admin theme, where I took the new blog that Antoine's been helping me here, whatever. And so you can see this is just a basic shows a content page and that. So basically created a theme based off of that. And then I created a, let's see, an Angular 9 just came out. So let's go ahead and bring that up here. So this is an Angular 9 application here. And so what I did is I took our basic blog component that was from our Angular component, and then I took the new blog component from Orchard and married them together using GraphQL. And so
if you want to show us something, you will have to zoom in
yeah,
the code.
okay,
Control
yeah,
plus.
sure, I get that.
Control plus should work on VS Code.
This is
Control plus, unless you have a Mac. Or, that's better. A little bit more, and then perfect.
okay. So here's okay. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with Angular, but I can just show you the very first part. Okay. So then these are your main files. Like AngularJS is kind of like all your components, how you set things up like that. And then if you go into the source code here, I have a blog component, and I have a blog content component, a GraphQL component. And if you look at, this is the main component here, I have a navbar component. And so here is the main application. So doing a navbar, and then router outlet is basically, which is the content of the Angular. So basically you have the blog post here, blog content. So let's go ahead and go to the blog here, and looking at here's the main gist of everything. So here I say for let blog of blog post, and I parse through all of that and then do the GraphQL basically with inside there to get all the information. So this is the basic contents of that. And then in the blog content here, I just actually display the whole thing here. So if we go ahead and look at, let's see.
Could we see it running? Would that be possible? That'd
Yeah.
be really interesting.
It's running right here. So basically I have just a menu here. So we go back here, and oh, well, it's probably, let me turn it up. Yeah, so let's go down here to the terminal. Oh. That's not responding. Where is that? Control C. Let me exit that. Do back in here. Okay, and let's go ahead and you do an ngserve-o. So it's bringing it up here. So there's the actual blog here. So if we go, something's going on right here. Oh, yeah, so this is not running, that's why. So let's make sure that this guy's running. So let's go here.
Oh, the server is not running. So
Yeah, the server's not running here.
It's really
So
headless.
So here's the headless part here.
If you don't
So
have the body,
start
the
this guy
headless.
Okay, so now that's running, so we can see the blog through here as well, right? So
Okay, from south
so
side.
let's go ahead and just add two of them, just to add one. So let's go into the dashboard here, and let's go to our blog, say new, and let's say, let's see, well, there's no blog post, so let's go here, go to the blog, and let's create a new blog post. And this is new blog post. I know. And we go. This is a blog post. Okay, then we can actually get an image too here if we want, upload one. Let's do like this one or something. And select that, hit OK. So now this basically is the actual update that Antoine did, where you could actually add a picture now, which is kind of nice. And then let's go ahead and publish that. All right, let's bring him over here. And let's see, this is here. So now let's refresh this guy. And so see, we have our blog post. Isn't that cute? And you click into that. And there's our blog. So it's Angular using GraphQL and all that. Pretty slick, isn't it? Then we can go back to the other one and go into that one as well.
And that's a different website. Okay.
Yeah,
it's an
so
Angular
that,
website,
yeah.
Static website that goes on
Right.
GraphQL.
So this is the Angular website here, and.
But you cheated because I'm sure you configured anonymous access to the GraphQL endpoint.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Sir.
It's not very
I can show you. Do you want me to show you that part?
I assume there is no. Well, what do you want to show? Just.
All right. Yeah, I can show you how the interface. You know, if we go to the GraphQL here, configurations. Is it search? Yeah, queries, all queries. So here's the search recent blog posts. You know, queries. Those are the standard ones. And then if you go into configuration, GraphQL.
Graphical.
Graphical, right, exactly, yeah. So we can
that's the
do things there as well. Mm-hmm. Okay. And if we go back to this guy here, here's our GraphQL inside of the Angular stuff here. So
question.
Okay.
The template, the blog component HTML. Can you open it?
Sure.
It's just, yeah. So here, line 34, you have src and you have localhost :501. Why do you need that?
Well, that's just the local host, right? The I'm running with the local server, right?
Yes, but that's the server. That's the Angular app, or that's the.
Well, these are the images. Yeah, these are the images. Yeah, well, this is the
Orchard app.
Orchard
Okay.
core application here.
Can you go back on the Orchard admin graphical page and click on blog post and check the image banner, whatever it is. What is that? So image and click on path and URLs also. Yeah, and click on URLs and run it.
Okay.
Top. No. Yeah, this one. Yeah, run. I see. So we don't expose the domain. Okay.
Yeah. So that's why I had to put the domain there.
Interesting. Is there a way in Angular? I'm sure that you could define it in a constant somewhere.
Oh yeah,
sure. Yeah,
I put this together like an hour before.
Okay. Okay, so that can be fixed. Okay, want to be sure that we don't.
You can refactor the code anytime, right? It just depends on if you have any requirements up front. If you define your requirements, that you can do anything.
Okay.
All right. So, any questions, or is that it?
That's good. Thank you.
That's
Michael Patterson, do you have questions? Because you love Angular. And you love
this is Angular 9, guys. Brand new, just came out last week.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
I'm sure you will do a video on YouTube.
I am going to do a video on this. Yes, I will. So it'll be more detailed. You can get the source code and all that.
I want to mention that before Gabor makes I don't know if it's Gabo who does that, the demos on the Lombiq channel before he makes a demo out of it. But
Well, that's fine. He can do that too. I don't mind.
Good. And then I will share again my screen. How do I do that? Here. My screen. And I got the link. And I assume, Michael Patterson, that you know about this site. Did you work on this site, Michael? Michael.
He's not here anymore.
Oh, he wanted to see the Angular. So he's not anymore. But yeah, new website on Orchard Core, RA Capital. Beautiful, lots of content. I don't remember if it's a full theme or, yeah, I think so. But it's nice.
Will they share the GDP banner thing with us?
GDPR, you mean? Do you see one?
Yeah, on the bottom.
Okay, I will check. Orchard Core.
Nice.
Just to be sure, you never know. And you say at the bottom there is a GDPR thing. Yeah. We're not sure it actually works, but I click this. Okay. Yeah, that's just the site I wanted to share because Ara shared it with me. What else? What else? So new website. So Jasmin, you'll do the demo next week. You don't know yet, but 18. Dynamic permissions. And I was saying harvest. So I won't name anyone, but I got an offer. From someone in UK to host Harvest in their offices. And they mention 50 people fit in the office, in the whatever room for the meetings and conferences. Okay, and that is, he mentioned London. So I don't know exactly what London means. He also mentioned Southampton, which is much further than London to London. So I will be talking with them about the details, but that's a good option. And I'm thinking somewhere there. I was saying last week of June, but the last week of June is overflowing on July. So that might be somewhere here. Okay, and to be sure that we are not going over the summer vacation and to have more options for traveling, that could be the week I'm thinking of. Okay, from the 21st to 27, days to be decided, 2 or 3 days to be decided, workshop or not to be decided. By the past, we have usually done in the beginning of the week, because this way you can arrive on a weekend, take your time, or get back from jet lag, or do some tourism. And then if you want, extend your stay to the week to stay longer. So I like this thing. So that might be the tentative dates, 22nd, 23rd, and 24th of June, 2 or 3 days. Usually 2 days is too short, 3 days is too long. So, and 2.5 days is not economically clever. So we'll see. Okay, but right now I'm thinking of June paste as plain text. Next time I will just do that, okay? Comments. If you travel from Canada, this is super expensive. Either you are working on your own or for a national agency. Living from Quebec to London is expensive. And for Dean, it's like he takes his bike in the morning, goes to London and comes back in the afternoon. So feel free to comment on that. On Gitter, people have reacted last week. All the Londoners said they were happy with the choice of UK. People from Netherlands said,
fine.
"Oh, we prefer in Amsterdam." But
Oh, London is fine. London is fine. I would love to see the carnage after Brexit.
So yeah, so that's the dates. What do you think about the dates, guys? So
It's fine. It's fine. Just
Yeah, it's a good time of the year to do that here. There's no trouble with school holidays and the like. So
okay, awesome. So I might make it official at some point, and once I talk to the persons that mentioned they would host it, if we get an agreement, then we'll book it and say it's there, and then I start organizing the Eventbrites and everything. But it's better to at least define the dates because we are sure that it will happen. If we are hosted by a company and it's cheaper for us, that's also better because there is less risk that we don't do it, and because usually the ticket fees would cover everything. We are a super cheap conference. It doesn't cost much to do it, so that's nice also. All good then.
and how about content on the harvest?
There will be no content. It's usually beer, beer and food.
Beer and sausages. I don't know what they eat in London. Probably spotted dick or something they call it. I don't know.
They have chicken everywhere. I'm sure you can eat. And if you have vegetarian, I'm sure they have vegetables.
But
So,
are you looking for presenters or
we'll see. Yeah,
cases?
we'll do a form so that that's what we do every time on the website announcing the harvest. We give all the plan, the dates, and then we'll ask for people to want to present something. And people suggest topics, and then we'll choose who we want to talk. And if you have an accent, then you can't talk. So I don't have a French accent when I speak English, so that's fine for me. But you can't talk, definitely, right?
yeah, and I don't have a Kiwi accent either.
Yeah, even Dean has an accent, so he can't talk either. So that will be a big issue.
So we have to find speakers then who can translate for us.
Yeah, and yeah, usually we try to mix like technical sessions where we want to learn something, like how to create a theme, or case studies. What did you implement using Orchard Core and how you did that, and things like this. These are usually the best ones because people realize that, oh, I can do that, so that's good. Yeah, so we'll have too many topics for sure to talk about. So the question will be 2 or 3 days. 3 days is super long, 2 days is super short. That's the issue. And what I'm thinking of also is I would love that we could do a workshop before, the day before or 2 days before.
So create your own blog with Orchard Core and everybody gets the laptop.
Yeah, the idea being to really learn for a full day to build something concrete and to be
more CMS or custom module.
I don't know yet.
Everything. Or, yeah.
Maybe everything. A full website with the theme and modules and deployment and things like this. So maybe there should be 2 tracks, one for websites, one for, I don't know, multi-tenant applications. I don't know, we have to see. So, but I would love to be able to do that. We have talked about it by the past, and it could be me or people like Sipke who will do that because they have experience to do that. So we don't know yet. If it's me, it will be.
Sipke talks without the accent, so.
Yeah, but Sipke might be more expensive than me. So if we need to make, because I won't charge anything, I have a salary, but his salary is to do things like this. So that's different.
I'll get my company to pay him.
Okay, so Matthew's company pays for everyone, and Sipke is giving the talk. Awesome. But we have to talk about it, okay? And we'll have to know before because people will get their accommodation. So I will try to first talk to the people who suggested that we could be in their offices, and then see if we can also do a workshop there, or if we'd have to get a different room for that. That's it. Okay. Time. Let's continue on Gitter, or send me Skypes and emails if you want to talk privately. Or always open for that. Soteris is coming. We have that. Awesome. Good. Thanks, everyone.
Okay.
See you
next week or Thursday.
See you on Thursday and next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.